Hi, Julie Torrens here. So I've got washies. I've got florals. I've got Valentine's Day. I've got maps. I've got metallics. I've got a little bit of everything. And the only thing, I'm pushing them away, the only thing that's in common about all these washies is that they're my oldest washies. So let's start using some washies. What do you say? Now, I picked out these 12 by 12s. I'm sure you can't see the whole thing, but it's just kind of like accounting paper. And I'm going to just fold it on the 6-inch mark. And hopefully we can get through 2 of these. Maybe we can, maybe we can't, but we're going to give it a try. And we're just going to see what happens here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit this first one with my bone folder. And let's grab the second one and do the same. And then we can just put that bone folder away. All right. So I'm making my paper doll flip tags. So the way that I start that is I just kind of divide my paper up. Here's half. So that would be the 6-inch. So then about 3 and about 3. And that way I kind of have a guideline as to where my dolls will be. Now I'm going to make the ovals for their heads. Don't get worked up. Just make yourself, but bring it down. Leave room for hair, a hat, something like that. So I'm just going to make an oval here. Make an oval here. That's too high. Let's see. Eraser. Every time I use one of these, it makes a mark. Just let the hair cover it up. One more oval. That one's a little high too. Okay, I think we'll be good with those. So I'm going to give them a throat. Because that part is going to be showing. And I may even just start out a little bit of a shoulder. Okay, I've got my glue stick. And I seem extremely shadowy today, and that's because we have about 0 sun. But you know what? If every time I waited for sun to do a video, winter's coming and it's going to get worse, folks. So, all right, pulling up my sleeves and got my glue stick open. I'm just grabbing some washi. I didn't pay any attention. I'm just pulling a random amount off. Now, people want to know how I do this. I put my thumb and then I just push the washi until it, pulls out on this side, and then I just pull. And you will find that the washi is really easier to handle once it's got that coating of glue stick on it. I am going to go all the way to the edge, and I can always cut off if I'm running over. All right, I'm just grabbing a random washi, and I'll show you this one more time. Put my thumb on it, push it through, and then leave my thumb and just pull. And there. And let's give this another string. And we're just going to keep building like this. I just grabbed another one. And we don't want all their outfits the exact same. So don't feel like it'd be better if you went all the way across. But if that's your thing, do it. You do you. That's always the way I feel. I don't want white. I'd rather have them overlap a tiny bit than to have white peeking through. I don't want that, because I think it'll just look like you tried but you missed. All right, let's get some of this guy on here. maybe, and that's going to overlap. That's fine. Maybe I can fill that little white space there. And there we go. So why am I gluing this? Well, you got to think about, what is washi really? Washi was designed for putting on gift packaging, being able to take it off cleanly and use it again. Just like you want to use your wrapping paper again. It's not going to damage the wrapping paper. Well, if that's what it's designed for, and you're putting it on like we are, that we want it to stick permanently, we're asking our washi tape to do what it really wasn't designed to do. So that's why I glue it up. Now I know y'all got some washi. Washi is so pretty and it's so tempting. And I don't know about you, but even at my Michael's, they had a big old basket, 4 for $1, washi. And yeah, it was pretty much all out of season. Who cares? Am I paying attention to seasons right now? Absolutely not. I'm just grabbing and going, ripping and running till I get my paper all covered. Sometimes with these thicker washis, and we'll be using some of those, wider I guess is what I mean, is we may have to run it over the glue stick twice. We can handle that. Some airplane washi, and I've got a little white spot there that I'm gonna fill with it. And some washis will let the next washi, when you overlap, show through. That's all right. That is fine. I've made these dolls for a long time with all kinds of stuff. And I have other videos out there using scraps, using the pile of strips that I had that were sitting at the end of my cutter. I mean, magazines, just random cuttings from magazines. It's a lot of fun. Now, this is a weird washi. It's kind of got a scallop to it. Isn't that something? It's pretty. Let's get it on. But because I don't want white showing, I may just lay it along another strip. Whoop. You know what I mean? I may just lay it on top of or alongside another washi. One washi on top of the other? Why not? It'll just add more interest to the end product. Now, I am working on my bead journal, and you all have been working with me, and I'm so grateful. This is really wide. That's okay. Show you how I can put the glue on this. Washi is not designed to keep forever and ever. I know some of you have had your washis kind of go bad. They will be almost impossible to take off the roll. You can put them in the microwave or use your heat gun on them a little bit, and that will help loosen up the adhesive. But once it's cool, it's kind of back to where it was. But if you're doing this technique with your glue stick, you'll be all right. This is very white on white, but that's okay. We'll be putting more washi, you know, on top and around. Just use your washi. Have I made that really clear? I hope so. All right, let's get another washi that we haven't used yet. And let's start putting it on. Put one like that. So what's on your desk? I was talking to a friend of mine, and he is working on kind of a spooky, Halloween-y sort of a thing. We're in the last week of September here in 2023. And I'll tell you, when that video comes out, it's going to be something great. It's Eddie Makes Art. I will link him. I often link him in the description. You know, if you're not checking out people's descriptions on their videos, you're missing out on some really cool links and information. And if you're wondering where someone got maybe their digitals or whatever, it's going to often be there, even if they don't mention it during the video. So hit that. It's either a downward arrow, and you just click that arrow and down will come your description. Sometimes it just says see more, but honestly, hit that and take a look at what people have in their descriptions. There's a lot of helpful information in there. It might be something in there that they mentioned in a prior video that you didn't exactly catch. I'm going to put this right here. Now I left just a little space there, so I'm just going to add a little piece of washi there. Do your hands get gluey? Very, very gluey. But that's the joy of it. Embrace the gluiness. Okay. Good. Looks good. Keep going. I have this red way up here, so I think I'm going to give a little bit of it down here. I'm not always moving this to show you, but I've showed you a couple times, so you'll be fine. I think I'll put it right here. Looks good. Okay. Is there another washi we haven't used? How about candy cane stripes? I don't even think I've used this one yet. And I believe, I'm not positive, but I believe it's one that came from that bin at Michael's. But I'm not sure. I mean, I buy washi. I just put it in my box of adhesives. I don't have that much. I see people with huge spools of washi, and it's so pretty. I love it. But I don't have that much. Nope. Maybe I can put a little piece of this black on that end. As I say, I prefer to not have white show. Now, not all of my washis are on perfectly straight. That's okay. Don't let it worry you. You know, these turn into the ladies' dresses, and dresses have creases and folds and darts and seams. So, you know, just don't worry. I got a glop of glue. I smear it right there, because this is where I was planning on going with it. And there we go. Look, we're almost done. I've got another real wide one. Let's just put a bit of that on. Now, some of these washis are better quality, like Prima, and I get some of the better quality washis when I go to the craft warehouse, where they have overruns and stuff, and sometimes the packaging's been damaged, sometimes there's one spool missing out of a set, but the prices are just unbelievable. And I am usually getting something from, you know, Prima or some other company that you know and trust. And then some of my washi has been gifted to me, which is, you know, of course, wonderful. Some of my washi is from places like AliExpress. I know I'm going to be putting glue on it, so I don't really worry about the adhesive. I kind of just go for the colors and maybe the theme. I know one of these washis is kind of postage. One of these washis is kind of matte-ish. This one that I have is kind of grungy with butterflies and little sayings that aren't in English. I'm sure it says something just fine, but I can't read it. That's okay. I have a stamp that I've used for years that is all in French script writing. Can't read it. Of course I can't. I've never had anyone in French tell me what it is, but when I bought it, it said that it was, the topic was botanicals. So I felt pretty safe. Now I've got just a real little spot right there. It's a little bit wider. Maybe I can just put another little patch of this on that spot. And then we're just kind of to the bottom. Huh. So I think we can get through 2 sheets of these, no problem. I need the 4 tags. I mean, we're going to be working here, and let me see. I think I'm going to put this here because that's really where the gap is. Okay. A little more, a little more. Let's get maybe some of this. Make it longer. Oh, if you can hear that noise, I'm sorry. I held off on doing this video as long as I felt comfortable, and that is the blower blowing grass off of the sidewalk. But he seems to be walking away, so that's good. Okay. Good. This could be a little bit narrower. Boy, that's cutting it close. How about the X's and O's? I think that's better. Okay. We'll get that on there. Good. Now, this is not, maybe it is. That is a white space. Okay, we need to put a little something in there. I thought it was, you know, with this, but no. It's a white space. There we go. All right, that could handle 2. Let's see. I'm just kind of looking at like what's over here but not over here sort of a thing. But it's not something I am really worried about. I'm not worried about anything when it comes to making paper doll tags. Nothing to worry about, friends. Just get her done. Now what I'll do is I will decorate one of these with, you know, like a bee for my bead journal. But the other ones I'll just leave kind of generic, I guess. And that way, let's get a little bit there. That way I can use it on just about any journal. I've also used these as gift tags on birthday presents and such, or tuck it into a plain card. There's all kinds of ways to use these paper doll things. All right, let's see. What haven't we used? How about this one? And I think it's just the right thickness too. Okay. Okay, there. I think we got her. And yes, I'll be trimming off those edges. Okay, we've got one full set of dressed dolls. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring up some of the washi. I'm just going to use small pieces, and I'm going to bring it up towards their neck a little bit. So that way when we cut it, it'll be good. That's why I wanted to put that little bit of shoulder on there. So there's that one. And again, I'm just grabbing. I'm just grabbing. I don't have a plan. And there. And now this one. This one could be pretty narrow, but maybe that's a little too narrow. Maybe this one, huh? This one will have a little scallop neckline. Ooh, fancy. Okay. And one more. That one's got metallic twice already. This polka dots will be just fine. Okay. I'm calling this one done. I'm just going to set it aside and let's do the same on this one. Okay, fingers are quite sticky, but that's all right. Okay, I'm going to go about half and then half of there and half of there. Make some ovals, leave room for hair, and that's how it's going to be attaching. Good. They do not all need to be the same. They do not. Just relax and make some ovals. And now, a little bit of a neck or throat. I was always told that chickens have necks, people have throats. Okay. All right, let's get some of this. I'm going to start out with this wide white one again. Let's just get some of this on here. I want to get a little more than I had the last time. All right. This is gonna, when it's this wide, it takes a few passes and it takes a little bit of patience, but you'll get it. See, what's happening is my fingers are now sticking and the washi doesn't want to slide. All right, let's try this again. Try it on this side. There we go. I may just have to kind of nudge it along. When it's not this double wide, you won't have that kind of a trouble. But that's okay. We're going to work it through. Let's go. We got things to do, washi tape. Can't be messing with you like this. There we go. Bring it right over here. And drag it across. All right. Wow. Yeah, I don't know how much more of that I'm going to be using. I'm going to stick it smack dab in the middle, though. There. If it has a few wrinkles, I'm not worried. I just want it down. All right. Give me a moment. I'm reaching to get some, because my fingers are just too sticky and we'll be here forever and a day. So the other thing I have ready to go is my Poscas, which are acrylic paint markers. Now you can use any acrylic paint markers. You can use alcohol markers. You can use crayons. You can use colored pencil. You use whatever you are comfortable with. Wow. That made my hand feel almost worse. But let's just, I re-grabbed it. Okay, there we go. Now, wipe it on the old pants because they're my paint pants. And let's get started with some more. I like this one. It's kind of mappy and grungy and cool. I really like it. And here we go. Much better with the clean hands. And there. Sorry for that delay. Moving forward, I think we will be a little better off. Okay. As my hands dry a little bit too. I've got a big glue glob. Alrighty. This metallic one is kind of pretty, isn't it? But I've had it, I know, over a year. So it's got to get used. We can't hoard it, or we just end up having to pitch it. And that's a shame. Cut your slices, or, you know, tear your slices out in what's manageable for you. If the ones I'm doing seem too long, go shorter. It's all right. That's kind of probably a cool look just on its own. Really. No, 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 no. No, no. I do not want that white gap. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Better. I thought if I started in the middle, it would give like a new rhythm to what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? It won't look exactly like the one I already did. Just kind of give it just a little different sort of an edge. Ooh, that came off in a hurry. I bought this washi, again, over a year ago. It has like a graph paper design on it, and I normally use it when I'm doing watercolor because I can put the tape on the edge of my watercolor paper and it helps me to keep it really straight. But I still have multiple rolls of this stuff that I'm just afraid I will never use before it really starts going bad. So that's what I'm doing with this. So today I had an interesting adventure. You want to hear about it? Okay. So I am, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, but I've said it many times, I'm 65, which means in the United States, I'm entitled to the government's medical insurance called Medicare. And you have to apply no sooner than 3 months before your 65th birthday and no less than 3 months. It's 3 months before your birthday to 3 months after your birthday. So my birthday was in July. I applied in May, and I applied online, and it said I needed to bring my birth certificate into the Social Security office, or I could mail it and they will mail it back. Well, I wasn't comfortable mailing it, although I don't know why not. If you think about it, you just contact the county you were born in and you can get another one. But anyway, I decided, well, you know, I live in Grand Rapids and I would take it to the Social Security office. So I looked it up on Google like we all do. Where is this office? And I need to take my thing. Well, that office had like horrible ratings and complaints of huge waits and big lines and just all kinds of stuff. So I looked at Holland, Michigan, because the Social Security office for me was the same distance, be it the one in Holland or the one in Grand Rapids. So I went ahead and went to the one in Holland. They had good ratings. We're talking about a national thing. You know, Medicare is not regional. It's based on the fact that you're a United States citizen. So I went there, signed in, waited my hour plus. Then it was finally my turn, and I took her my birth certificate so she could feel the seal on it. And then she said, well, have you moved to Holland? And I said, no. And she said, well, you really have to go to the Grand Rapids office. I told her why I didn't. And she said, well, I'm going to send this to them. But from now on, please go to the Grand Rapids office, because even though it's a national benefit, we do divide it up And she said, your records and you've been assigned as agent, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I was told I was done. I checked online the way you're supposed to, and it said that you're in process. If there's anything we need, we will contact you. Haven't been contacted. All right, well, as you know, we're at the end of September. My current insurance ends at the end of October. I wasn't concerned about it because I should start my Medicare. Well, haven't heard. The online service keeps saying the same thing. So I called the national office early this morning, like 7:30 in the morning. Spoke to someone who said, I don't know what you're waiting on. I'm going to send an urgent note to your agent in your office and we'll see what happens. So I thought, all right, well, I want to make videos. There's a live stream that I want to be involved with today, but hey, I got to get this straightened out. So I headed for the Social Security office, and while I was in my car, the car was running. I was just getting ready to throw it into reverse and head for the Grand Rapids office. My whole dashboard lights up because I have a phone call. So I'm sitting still there. I took the call. It was Social Security. They never call you. But, I mean, he gave all kinds of stuff, information about me that no one else would know. And the fact that I had called this morning, who I spoke to. So I felt confident it wasn't a prank or a scam or something. And he found my birth certificate. He didn't know why really things were held up other than he was just waiting for me to show up there, but he was going to process everything and my insurance should start day after tomorrow and I should get the card in the mail next week. Yay! I didn't have to go. There I was sitting there all dressed up, nowhere to go, but you know, that's okay. I was really would rather stay home. Now my local office didn't open till 9, so I just decided I'm not going to make coffee. I'm just heading out there. Get out there, get it done. Be one of the first ones in line outside and all that kind of business. Didn't have to do it. Yay. So yeah, that is our national medical program here in the US. And even though we can't take our Social Security retirement until we're older now. It used to be 65, but it's no longer that. But your medical still starts at age 65. So, yay. Now, it's still not free. And you still want to get a supplement to go with it. But compared to what I was doing, it is quite reasonable. It's going to make a big difference in my monthly budget. So, yay. There. Now, wasn't that interesting? You guys can let me know your Social Security heartaches. I'll tell you that office. Wow. Now, I hadn't been to the one in Grand Rapids, still haven't. But that office in Holland, very nice, very clean. I mean, you know, people are nice. It's not a bad place, but just so crowded and people waiting. People that had appointments were still waiting an hour. It's just sad because they've cut budgets. And so things like this are they're just not what they used to be, I guess. But is anything anymore? That little edge wants to curl. We're gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. What do you say? I need something right here. This person needs the top of their outfit. Let's give it some of this green. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope that none of you ever have to go through such a thing. That would be great. Now, there's all kinds of things that you can sign up for privately once you have your Medicare that kind of just enhances it. It's still a lot cheaper than if it's full-blown insurance on your own. I think in England, my husband was born in Manchester. He has since passed, but he always talked about something called Bupa. And so maybe these different supplements are similar to that. I really don't know. But we do not have like government run medical like a lot of countries do. I think there's advantages and disadvantages to both. I really do. And I'm a nurse. I mean, I see it all. I see what people's insurances do and don't do, and just all the conversations that can go with that. So we are almost done. I think this last piece in my hand is going to be the end. My glue stick top has gotten kind of bumpy, but that's okay. Once I start using it the regular way, it'll smooth back out. It's not ruined. Okay, I think we've got it up high enough that it'll look fine. I'm going to get a little bit of this glue off of my hands again, and then we're on to the next step. So that's fun. We've got to think about hair, or like I said, you can put a hat, you can put a crown, you can put a tiara, you can do whatever you want. But what I wouldn't recommend is a tiny little ballerina bun, because that won't give you enough at the hinge to be able to flip it open and close. Do you know what I mean? So let's just get the hands clean. I'm going to let this one rest, because I can just tell by looking at this one, it's drier. You know, there's just a look about it. And definitely when I picked it up, I could tell that it was definitely drier. Okay, enough with the hand washing already. And on to the next part. So I need to draw in some faces. And I think what I'm going to do is start with hair, because I think that's the way I've done them in the past. It feels like I did. Pulled out my red here, and I've got a little piece of scratch paper that I can just give it a one pump. Don't pump your ink pens. If you just give it a once up and down, once you've started them from new, you'll be fine. All right, so let's just give her some bangs. And you know what? You can make them guys, you can make them girls, you can make them whatever you want. And I'm letting her hair tumble right down on her clothes. And I think that looks great. I'm trying to kind of disguise some of those pencil marks. All right, there's one hairdo. Let's get another hairdo. I'm going to take orange this time. Yeah, we've got some ginger girls in the room today, and that's fine. Okay. And we'll give her some hair like this. Kind of long, kind of swoopy. But it's got to come all the way up to the top. So she's going to have kind of a poofy hair on top. And it's all good. Okay. She's going to need some darkening up in that hair of hers, and that's fine. We'll do that, but let's let that row dry. Pulling out some more. This is brown. And maybe this one will have kind of a side part. give her a little poof. Yeah. Looks cute. Alrighty. I'm going to get in here with her. I just think the orange looked a little, I don't know, maybe too much white was showing through, or I'm not sure, but I definitely like that better. Okay, one more. Make her gray hair. Why not? Works for me. And I'm going to give this one tighter. Some tighter curls. And curls coming down the face. All right. Now, faces. I'm going to start out with some blue eyes. And these are simple faces, folks. Let's go with some green eyes. You could just leave them with eyes and just leave them like that. You sure could. Okay, she's got brown hair, and so if I give her those brown eyes, I really don't think we're going to see it. Now, where's my black? Maybe I don't have black in that. I have black in this package. These are just a little bit finer of washi, of Poscas. But we're going to give her eyes right through her hair. Yep, it'll work. And then maybe I can give this last girl some brown eyes. All right. Now, lipstick. I like to do lipstick next. So I'm giving her some lipstick like that. And I'm going to give her kind of a different look. And we'll get some red lipstick. And she just might have a smile. And some orange lipstick on the lady with the gray hair. I'll give her the 3 dots. Okay. Now, some little noses. And I'm just going to make an upside down U. No, it's a right side up U. And some eyelashes. And her lips are still shiny, so they need to dry. Moving this over a little bit and giving her some eyelashes. Her lips look dry. So there's her little smile. And there's her little smile. Let's give her some eyelashes. Okay, she's dry. So I'm just filling in her a little bit. And her a little bit. Some eyelashes. Yep. Now, she looks goofy, doesn't she? Maybe we'll give her some glasses. Let's see what that does. You know what? I've got the thinner ones out. So let's get the thinner markers. And I'll pick a green. And give her a bridge. And some glasses. Okay, that looks fine. And I think I'll give her maybe with the same green. A ribbon in her hair. And maybe this orange girl, she can have a different kind of a headband going on. And our little gray-haired friend here, let's give her a barrette. Yeah. And this little red head girl, we'll get the green out. And we'll give her a little headband. Yeah, like that. Okay. They look fun to me. Their pupils and all, like especially the one with the black. I'm going to just put a white dot. Whoa, let's see. You know what? Instead of using my jelly roll, let's grab the Posca white. There we go. Little white dot there. I'm putting a white dot in all their eyes. And then the ones that don't have black, well, you won't see it in her eyes, but we'll see it in her eyes. And we'll see it in her eyes. There they are. Okay, let's cut them out. See what we've got. I'm going to start out by just cutting straight down. Okay, then I'm going to just cut her hair, but I did not cut the tippy top of her hair. And I'm just going over the little bumps of her hair. And then I'm just going to give her a shoulder. Come over here. Let's trim this up. Okay. And I'm just kind of giving her some shoulder space there. And coming up to her hair. I see I've got some washi stuck to my scissors. That's okay. All right. There she is. Now, can you see her? There she is. Cute. And if you're not confident, and these are not the best faces I've ever drawn in my life, that's for sure. But if you're just really nervous about the whole face thing, get a magazine picture. Get some kind of, like ephemera. I'm going to make her just a little bit skinnier. Get some ephemera with faces. Tim Holtz has a million of them. And just go for it that way. There's no reason why you can't. And I'm just kind of going around that bow and then stopping. I like her. Okay. Let's just cut our little Miss Silver Hair. And look, if you don't catch every wisp of hair, no one's going to know. So just relax and go for it. And let's trim her edge. And come up this shoulder. And there, girl number 3. And let's get our last one. I think we did great with these. I really do. I'm excited to see, you know. Find me on Facebook, Julie Ann Torrens, or send me the instructions on how I can get to you, maybe in your Instagram. I'm not really handy with Instagram, but I can usually find people if they give me the directions. And I want to see your flip dolls. All right, let's get our scraps out of here. Get a little in control here. And then here are our 4 ladies. And I'll just work on the other ones on my own. You get the idea, and aren't they just sweet? You can add a pocket to them. You know, you can go ahead. Like, I'm going to have a bee journal. I'm going to have a couple be in a bee journal. So I could put a little bee on her if I wanted to. Or you could put a flower. And you don't even have to necessarily glue it all the way down. You could just glue it halfway, and it can be a little pocket where you can stick a little ticket or something. They're just so fun. Well, you've been with me this long. Thank you so much. Consider subscribing. Today's the perfect day. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing those thumbs up likes and seeing you in another video. Bye now.